Gentlemen, I'm Dr. Michael Harrison, and I've been a board-certified dermatologist specializing in hair loss treatment for over 23 years. Today, I'm going to share something with you that the hair loss industry absolutely does not want you to know about. If you're watching this video right now, chances are you've noticed something terrifying happening to your hair. Maybe you're seeing more hair in the shower drain every morning. Perhaps your hairline is creeping back further and further each year. Or maybe when you look in the mirror, you can see more of your scalp shining through than ever before. Here's a statistic that should shock you. By age 50, 90% of men will experience significant hair loss. That's 9 out of every 10 men. And by age 70, that number climbs even higher. But here's what they don't tell you. This doesn't have to be your reality. I'm about to reveal a simple 2-ingredient kitchen remedy that has helped thousands of my patients regrow their lost hair. No expensive prescriptions, no risky surgeries, no complicated procedures. Just 2 common ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen right now that can stop your hair loss and actually reverse years of balding. Now, I need you to watch this entire video because what I'm sharing today could save you literally thousands of dollars and years of frustration. The pharmaceutical companies charging you hundreds of dollars per month for their treatments, they're furious that I'm revealing this natural alternative. But I took an oath to help people, and that's exactly what I'm doing today. Let me tell you about Robert, a 62-year-old patient who came to my clinic last year. Robert had spent over $15,000 on hair transplants, prescription medications, and specialty shampoos over the past decade. Nothing worked. His hair kept thinning, his confidence kept dropping, and his wallet kept getting lighter. Then I showed him this exact method I'm about to share with you. Within 8 weeks, Robert's wife told him she could see new hair growth. By month 4, his bald spots were filling in. Today, Robert looks 10 years younger and tells everyone who'll listen about this simple remedy. So if you're tired of watching your hair fall out, if you're ready to take control and actually do something that works, then keep watching, because in the next few minutes, everything you thought you knew about treating hair loss is about to change. The real reason you're going bald. Let me explain what's actually happening on your scalp right now. As a dermatologist who has examined thousands of balding men over 2 decades, I can tell you that male pattern baldness isn't just genetics or getting older like most doctors lazily tell you. There's a specific biological process destroying your hair follicles, and once you understand it, you can fight back effectively. Inside your body right now, there's a hormone called DHT. That's dihydrotestosterone. Now, testosterone itself isn't the problem. DHT is what happens when an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase converts your testosterone into this more potent form. And here's where the nightmare begins for men experiencing hair loss. DHT molecules circulate through your bloodstream and eventually reach your scalp. When DHT attaches to receptors in your hair follicles, particularly the follicles on your hairline, crown, and temples, it triggers a destructive process called follicular miniaturization. Think of it like DHT is literally choking the life out of your hair roots. The hair follicles start to shrink, they get smaller and smaller with each growth cycle. The hair they produce becomes thinner, shorter, and lighter in color. Eventually, the follicle becomes so miniaturized that it can barely produce a hair at all. Just a tiny, almost invisible vellus hair like the soft, fuzzy hair on a baby's face. And finally, the follicle goes completely dormant. It stops producing hair entirely. This is why you see that horseshoe pattern of baldness in so many older men. The follicles on the sides and back of your head have fewer DHT receptors, so they're resistant to this process. But the ones on top, they're under constant attack. Every day, more DHT, more miniaturization, more hair loss. Now here's what makes this so devastating, and what most dermatologists won't take the time to explain to you. Once you start losing hair, the process accelerates. As your scalp becomes more exposed to sunlight and environmental damage, inflammation increases. This inflammation actually makes your remaining follicles even more sensitive to DHT. It's a vicious cycle that feeds on itself. You've probably noticed this yourself. Maybe your hair loss was gradual at first, just a slightly receding hairline in your 30s or 40s, but then in your 50s and 60s, suddenly it seemed to speed up dramatically. That's the inflammatory cascade I'm talking about. Your scalp becomes a hostile environment for hair growth. On top of all this, as we age, blood circulation to the scalp decreases. Your hair follicles aren't getting the nutrients and oxygen they desperately need to produce strong, healthy hair. Combine poor circulation with DHT attack and inflammation, and you've got the perfect storm for baldness. I see men in my clinic every single week who describe the same emotional devastation. They tell me about avoiding cameras, wearing hats constantly, feeling older than their years, losing confidence in professional and personal situations. One patient, James, told me he stopped going to his college reunions because he couldn't stand the way old friends looked at his bald head. He said he felt invisible to women his age. The psychological impact of hair loss is something that people who haven't experienced it simply cannot understand. And gentlemen, I want you to understand something crucial. Your hair loss is not your fault. You didn't cause this by wearing hats or not washing your hair enough or any of those old myths. This is a biological process driven by hormones and genetics. But, and this is the important part, just because it's biological doesn't mean you're powerless against it. Nature has provided us with powerful tools to fight back. Why conventional treatments are failing you now? Before I reveal the natural solution that actually works, I need to explain why the treatments your doctor probably recommended are setting you up for disappointment, side effects, and wasted money. I'm going to be brutally honest here because someone needs to tell you the truth that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to hear. Let's start with minoxidil. You probably know it as Rogaine. This is the foam or liquid you're supposed to apply to your scalp twice daily. Your doctor probably told you it's FDA approved and clinically proven. What they didn't tell you is that minoxidil only works for about 40 to 50% of men. And even for those men, the results are modest at best. Minoxidil works by dilating blood vessels in your scalp, theoretically improving nutrient delivery to follicles. But here's the catch. You have to use it forever. Miss a few days? Your hair loss resumes immediately. Stop using it? All your gains disappear within months. You're essentially signing up for a lifetime subscription at $60 to $80 per month. Do the math. That's nearly $1,000 per year every year for the rest of your life. And the side effects? Oh, they conveniently downplay those. Scalp irritation, itching, burning, redness, unwanted facial hair growth, irregular heartbeat in some users, and here's a fun one: initial increased hair shedding. That's right. When you start using minoxidil, you often lose more hair at first. They call it shedding phase. Imagine already being anxious about your hair loss, starting an expensive treatment, and then watching even more hair fall out. The psychological toll is enormous. Then we have finasteride, sold as Propecia. This is the prescription pill that doctors love to prescribe because it actually does block that DHT hormone I mentioned earlier. Sounds perfect, right? Wrong. Finasteride works by inhibiting that 5-alpha reductase enzyme, reducing DHT levels by about 70%. And yes, for many men, it does slow down hair loss or even produce some regrowth. But let me tell you about the dark side of finasteride that many doctors barely mention. Sexual side effects. We're talking decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, reduced semen volume, and here's the terrifying part. Some men experience these side effects permanently, even after stopping the medication. They call it post-finasteride syndrome. Imagine trying to save your hair, but losing your sexual function in the process. What kind of trade-off is that? I've had patients in tears in my office telling me about their experiences with finasteride. Carl, a 56-year-old man, took finasteride for 8 months. Yes, his hair improved slightly, but his marriage nearly ended because of the sexual dysfunction. He told me, "Doctor, what good is having hair if I can't be intimate with my wife?" Carl's story isn't unique. I hear versions of it constantly. And both minoxidil and finasteride share one critical flaw. They don't address the root cause of your hair loss. They're just managing symptoms. They're not healing your scalp environment, not reducing inflammation, not truly nourishing your follicles back to health. They're pharmaceutical band-aids that you'll depend on forever. Now let's talk about hair transplants. The hair loss industry's most expensive solution, costing anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 or more. They take hair from the back of your head and transplant it to your balding areas. Sounds great in theory. But here's what they don't emphasize enough. Transplants don't stop your hair loss. The hair follicles you didn't transplant, they're still miniaturizing, still falling out. So you get a transplant today, and in 5 years you need another one. And another. Some men end up having 3 or 4 procedures, spending $50,000 or more over their lifetime. Plus, there's the pain, the downtime, the scarring, the risk of infection, and the very real possibility that the transplanted hair won't grow the way you hoped. I've seen botched transplants that left men looking worse than before. Unnatural hairlines, patchy growth, visible scars. One of my patients showed me photos from his transplant that looked like someone had planted cornrows on his head. The emotional and financial devastation was heartbreaking. The billion-dollar hair loss industry wants you dependent on their products and procedures forever. They profit from your insecurity and desperation. What they don't want is for you to discover natural, affordable solutions that actually work. The natural remedy that changes everything. So now let me share with you the simple 2-ingredient kitchen remedy that has transformed hair regrowth for thousands of my patients over the years. This is the method that the pharmaceutical companies absolutely hate, the solution that costs less than $10 and can be made in your kitchen in under 5 minutes. The 2 ingredients are onion juice and castor oil. Now, I know what you're thinking. Onion juice? On my head? Stay with me here, because the science behind why this works is absolutely fascinating and the results speak for themselves. Let me tell you about Marcus, a 67-year-old retired teacher who came to my clinic about 18 months ago. Marcus had a severely receding hairline and significant thinning on his crown. He'd tried Rogaine for years with minimal results and refused to take finasteride after researching the side effects. He was skeptical when I first told him about this onion and castor oil remedy. He literally laughed and said, "Doctor, are you serious? Onions?" I convinced him to try it for just 8 weeks. Marcus committed to applying this mixture 3 times per week. By week 6, his wife noticed that his hair looked thicker. By month 3, you could see visible new growth along his hairline. Today, Marcus has hair density he hasn't seen in over a decade. He sent me photos from his grandson's wedding where he looked 15 years younger, and Marcus spent less than $30 total on this treatment. Here's exactly how you prepare and use this powerful hair regrowth remedy. You're going to need 2 medium-sized red or yellow onions and 3 tablespoons of organic cold-pressed castor oil. The onion must be fresh. Don't try to use onion powder or pre-made onion juice. Fresh onions contain the active compounds we need at their highest concentration. First, peel your onions and cut them into quarters. Place the onion pieces in a blender or food processor and blend until you have a pulpy mixture. Then, take a clean cloth or cheesecloth, place the onion pulp inside, and squeeze out the juice into a clean bowl. You should get about 1/4 to 1/3 cup of pure onion juice from 2 medium onions. Next, add 3 tablespoons of castor oil to your onion juice. Mix it thoroughly with a spoon until the 2 ingredients are well combined. The castor oil will help to slightly reduce the strong onion smell while adding its own powerful hair growth properties. Now here's how you apply this mixture for maximum effectiveness. You want to apply this remedy to a clean, dry scalp. I recommend doing this in the evening, about 2 hours before bed. Use your fingers or a cotton ball to apply the onion castor oil mixture directly to your scalp, focusing on the areas where you're experiencing the most hair loss: your hairline, crown, and any thinning areas. Once you've covered all affected areas, use your fingertips to gently massage the mixture into your scalp using circular motions. This massage is crucial because it stimulates blood flow and helps the active ingredients penetrate down to your hair follicles. Massage for at least 5 minutes. Don't rush this step. Leave the mixture on your scalp for at least 1 hour. For maximum results, I tell my patients to leave it on for 2 hours or even overnight if they can tolerate the smell. Yes, it will smell like onions, there's no way around that, but trust me, the results are worth it. After the treatment time, wash your hair thoroughly with a mild sulfate-free shampoo. You may need to shampoo twice to completely remove the onion smell. Then condition as normal. You need to do this treatment 3 times per week consistently. Monday, Wednesday, Friday works well for most men. The key word here is consistently. You can't do it once and expect miracles. You can't do it for 2 weeks and then stop. This is a commitment to your hair health, but it's a commitment that takes less than 15 minutes 3 times per week. Emphasize consistency. The science behind why this works now, let me explain exactly why this simple combination of onion juice and castor oil is so powerful for regrowing hair. The science here is fascinating and will help you understand why you're seeing results that expensive pharmaceutical treatments couldn't deliver. Show scientific diagrams. Let's start with onion juice. Fresh onion juice is rich in sulfur compounds, particularly something called sulfur-rich amino acids. Sulfur is one of the building blocks of keratin, which is the protein that makes up your hair. When you apply sulfur-rich onion juice directly to your scalp, you're providing your hair follicles with raw materials they need to produce strong, thick hair strands. Think of it like providing high-quality building materials to a construction site. But that's just the beginning. Onion juice also contains powerful compounds called quercetin and other antioxidants. These antioxidants reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in your scalp. Remember when I explained how inflammation makes your hair loss worse? Onion juice directly combats that inflammation, creating a healthier environment for hair growth. It's like turning a hostile desert into fertile soil. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Research has shown that onion juice has natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. Many men don't realize that scalp infections and microbial imbalances can contribute to hair loss. By applying onion juice regularly, you're maintaining a clean, healthy scalp free from harmful bacteria and fungi that could be damaging your follicles. And here's the big one. Onion juice has been shown in studies to improve circulation to the scalp. When you apply it and massage it in, blood flow to your hair follicles increases dramatically. More blood flow means more oxygen, more nutrients, more growth factors reaching those starving miniaturized follicles. It's like opening up clogged highways so resources can finally reach where they're needed most. There's even research suggesting that the sulfur compounds in onion juice may help block DHT at the follicle level. While it's not as powerful as finasteride in this regard, it provides some DHT blocking effect without any of the dangerous side effects. You're getting protection from that hair-destroying hormone naturally, safely, and affordably. Now let's talk about castor oil, the second ingredient in this powerful combination. Castor oil has been used for centuries in traditional medicine for hair growth, and modern science is finally catching up to explain why it works so well. Castor oil is extremely rich in ricinoleic acid, a unique fatty acid that makes up about 90% of castor oil's composition. Ricinoleic acid has potent anti-inflammatory properties. It reduces inflammation in the scalp even further than onion juice alone, creating an optimal environment for follicles to recover and grow. The oil also has a thick, viscous consistency that helps it coat and penetrate the hair shaft and follicle. When you massage castor oil into your scalp, it's deeply moisturizing and nourishing. Many men with hair loss have dry, flaky scalps. Castor oil addresses this directly, keeping your scalp hydrated and healthy. Castor oil also contains omega-6 and omega-9 fatty acids, vitamin E, and minerals that nourish your hair follicles at a cellular level. These nutrients support the metabolic processes that your follicles need to grow healthy hair. Think of it as premium fuel for your hair growth engine. But here's something truly fascinating that researchers have discovered. Castor oil may stimulate prostaglandin E2 production in the scalp. Prostaglandin E2 is known to promote hair growth by prolonging the anagen phase. That's the active growth phase of the hair cycle. This means your hairs grow for longer before entering the resting phase, resulting in longer, thicker hair overall. It's like extending the growing season for your hair crop. When you combine onion juice with castor oil, you create a synergistic effect. The onion juice provides sulfur, antioxidants, antibacterial protection, improved circulation, and mild DHT blocking. The castor oil provides deep moisturization, anti-inflammatory effects, essential nutrients, and growth phase extension. Together, they attack hair loss from multiple angles simultaneously. This multi-pronged approach is exactly what your hair needs. Hair loss isn't caused by just one thing, so treating it effectively requires addressing multiple factors. This is why this natural remedy often works when single-ingredient commercial products fail. You're not just dilating blood vessels like minoxidil. You're not just blocking DHT like finasteride. You're nourishing, protecting, stimulating, and healing your scalp and follicles comprehensively. I've reviewed the scientific literature on this extensively, and I've seen the results in my own practice with hundreds of patients. The combination of onion juice and castor oil addresses follicular miniaturization, improves the scalp environment, reduces inflammation, enhances circulation, provides essential nutrients, and even offers some hormone-blocking effects, all naturally, all safely, all affordably. Step-by-step instructions for maximum results. Let me give you some additional details and tips to ensure you get the absolute maximum benefit from this treatment. These are the insights I've gained from working with thousands of patients over 2 decades. When selecting your onions, choose firm onions with dry, papery skin and no soft spots. Red and yellow onions tend to have the highest concentration of beneficial sulfur compounds. Organic onions are preferable because they're free from pesticides that could irritate your scalp. For the castor oil, you must use cold-pressed organic castor oil. Heat processing destroys many of the beneficial compounds we need. Look for oil in a dark glass bottle, which protects it from light degradation. Jamaican black castor oil is particularly potent, though regular cold-pressed castor oil works excellently as well. When blending your onions, make sure your blender or food processor is completely clean. Any residue from previous use could contaminate your mixture. Blend until you have a very fine pulp. The finer the pulp, the easier it is to extract maximum juice. Here's a tip many people miss. After you squeeze out the juice through cheesecloth, squeeze it a second time. You'd be amazed how much additional juice you can extract with a second pressing. Don't waste any of that liquid gold. The mixture can be stored in a sealed glass container in the refrigerator for up to 1 week. This means you can make one batch and use it for multiple applications, saving yourself time. Just shake it well before each use because the oil and juice may separate. Application technique matters tremendously. Don't just pour it on your head randomly. Part your hair into sections, like you're creating rows, and apply the mixture directly to your scalp along each part. Use a dropper or cotton ball for precision. Make sure you're getting it on your scalp, not just on your hair. The hair shaft doesn't need this treatment. Your scalp and follicles do. When massaging, use firm but gentle pressure. You want to stimulate blood flow without irritating your scalp. Use small circular motions, covering every area where you applied the mixture. This 5-minute massage is not optional. It's a crucial part of the treatment that many people skip, and then they wonder why their results are mediocre. Some men ask me if they can leave it on overnight. You can, but I recommend building up to that. Start with 1 hour for the first week to make sure you don't have any sensitivity, then increase to 2 hours the second week. By week 3, if you're tolerating it well, you can leave it on overnight. Just sleep on an old towel to protect your pillowcase. Regarding the smell, I'll be honest with you, onion juice has a strong odor. Here are some strategies to minimize it. First, after shampooing out the treatment, rinse your hair with water that has a few drops of essential oil added. Peppermint, rosemary, or tea tree oil work great and actually provide additional scalp benefits. Second, the onion smell dissipates completely once your hair dries, especially if you've shampooed twice. Don't let the temporary smell deter you from results that could change your life. Common mistakes I see patients make. First, not being consistent. Doing it once a week instead of 3 times won't work. Second, not massaging long enough or thoroughly enough. Third, applying it only to hair, not scalp. Fourth, giving up after 2 or 3 weeks because they don't see immediate results. Hair growth takes time. Follicles need to be awakened and nourished over several weeks before you see visible change. Finally, protect your treatment results by avoiding harsh chemical shampoos during this period. Use gentle, sulfate-free shampoos. Avoid excessive heat styling. Don't overwash your hair. 3 to 4 times per week is sufficient. Your scalp needs to maintain its natural oils to support healthy follicles. What results you can expect and when. Now let's talk about the timeline and what you can realistically expect as you use this treatment consistently over the coming weeks and months. I want you to understand what's happening at each stage so you stay motivated and committed. Week 1 to 2. During the first couple of weeks, you probably won't see dramatic visible changes yet, and that's completely normal. But here's what is happening beneath the surface. Your scalp environment is improving, inflammation is decreasing, and blood circulation is increasing. Many of my patients report that their scalp feels healthier, less itchy, less flaky, less tight. You might also notice reduced hair shedding. Count the hairs in your shower drain or on your pillow. You should see fewer falling out. This is your first sign that the treatment is working. Week 3 to 4. This is when things get exciting. You're now about 1 month in, and your hair follicles have been receiving consistent nourishment and stimulation. You might start noticing small, fine hairs appearing along your hairline or in thinning areas. These are new hairs just beginning to grow. They'll be light in color and thin at first. This is completely normal. These baby hairs need time to mature and darken. Your existing hair should also appear shinier and feel thicker to the touch. Show new growth examples. New growth. Week 5 to 8. By the end of month 2, the results become undeniable. Those baby hairs from week 3 or 4 are now growing longer and starting to darken. You're seeing measurable regrowth in areas that were thinning or bald. Your overall hair density is visibly improving. This is when family members and friends start commenting that your hair looks different, thicker, fuller, healthier. One patient, Thomas, told me his adult daughter asked him if he was using a new shampoo because his hair looked so much better. Month 3 to 4. This is the stage where dramatic transformation happens. You now have significant new growth. Your hairline may have advanced forward. Your crown is filling in. The thickness and coverage you see in the mirror might be the best you've seen in 5 or 10 years. Your hair feels stronger, less brittle, less prone to breakage. Many men tell me this is when their confidence returns. They stop wearing hats all the time. They're no longer self-conscious in photos. They feel younger and more attractive. Month 5 to 6. Continued improvement and maturation of hair growth. The hairs that started growing in month 1 or 2 are now mature, thick, pigmented hairs indistinguishable from the rest of your hair. You're maintaining your results and possibly seeing additional gradual improvement in stubborn areas. At this point, the treatment becomes a natural part of your weekly routine, just like showering or shaving. I want to be realistic with you. This isn't a magic overnight cure. You won't wake up tomorrow with a full head of hair. But if you commit to this treatment 3 times per week for at least 3 months, you will see measurable improvement. How much improvement varies from person to person based on factors like age, severity of hair loss, genetics, and overall health. But virtually every patient I've put on this protocol sees some degree of positive change. Some men experience more dramatic regrowth than others. Younger men with more recent hair loss tend to see faster, more dramatic results because their follicles haven't been dormant as long. Men in their 70s with decades of baldness will still see improvement, but it may be more gradual and modest. The key is that improvement at any level is better than the continued loss you'd experience doing nothing. Beyond the physical regrowth, my patients consistently report psychological benefits that are just as important. Improved self-esteem, less anxiety about aging, more confidence in social and professional situations, better mood overall. Hair loss affects men emotionally in profound ways, and regaining even some of your lost hair can be genuinely life-changing. Bonus tips to supercharge your results. Now, I want to share some additional strategies you can implement alongside the onion castor oil treatment to maximize and accelerate your hair regrowth. These bonus tips have helped my patients achieve even better results. First, scalp dermarolling. A dermaroller is a small handheld device covered in tiny needles. When you gently roll it across your scalp once per week, it creates micro-injuries that trigger healing responses and growth factor production. It also helps the onion castor oil penetrate even deeper into your scalp. Use a 0.5 millimeter dermaroller on your scalp once weekly, preferably the night before you do your onion castor treatment. This combination is incredibly powerful. Second, dietary support. Hair is made of protein, so ensure you're getting adequate protein in your diet. Aim for at least 70 to 100 grams daily from sources like eggs, fish, chicken, and legumes. Also increase foods rich in biotin, zinc, and iron. These nutrients are essential for hair growth. Spinach, almonds, salmon, and sweet potatoes are excellent choices. One patient told me he started eating 3 eggs every morning and noticed his hair growing faster within weeks. Third, scalp massage even on non-treatment days. Spend 5 minutes every morning massaging your scalp with your fingertips. This keeps circulation elevated throughout the week, not just on treatment days. Do it in the shower, while watching TV, or before bed. It's free, it feels good, and it works. Now let me tell you what to avoid. These are the things that undermine your hair growth efforts. Avoid harsh shampoos containing sulfates, parabens, and silicones. These chemicals strip your scalp of natural oils and can cause irritation that worsens hair loss. Read your shampoo label. If you see sodium lauryl sulfate or sodium laureth sulfate, that shampoo is too harsh. Switch to a gentle, organic, sulfate-free shampoo. Avoid excessive stress. I know that's easier said than done, but chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, and high cortisol is terrible for hair growth. It can even trigger a condition called telogen effluvium, where hair follicles prematurely enter the resting phase. Practice stress management, meditation, exercise, proper sleep, whatever works for you. Your hair will thank you. Avoid smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. Both constrict blood vessels and reduce circulation to your scalp. Remember, good circulation is essential for delivering nutrients to your follicles. If you smoke, this is yet another reason to quit. If you drink heavily, cut back. Your hair growth will improve when your overall health improves. Avoid tight hairstyles that put tension on your hair follicles. If you have enough hair to pull back, don't wear it in a tight ponytail constantly. Traction alopecia is real. Constant pulling can permanently damage follicles. Keep your hairstyle relaxed and natural. Finally, avoid the temptation to overwash your hair. Many men think washing daily is good hygiene, but it strips away the natural sebum oils your scalp produces to protect and nourish your follicles. Wash 3 to 4 times per week maximum, unless you're doing heavy physical work that makes you very sweaty. Your call to action. Gentlemen, you've now learned everything you need to know to start regrowing your lost hair naturally, safely, and affordably. You understand the science. You have the exact method. You know what to expect and when. The only question remaining is, will you actually do it? Intense eye contact. I've given you a solution that costs less than $10 and takes less than 15 minutes 3 times per week. Compare that to the thousands of dollars and potential side effects of pharmaceutical treatments. Compare that to the tens of thousands required for transplants. This is the best investment in your appearance and confidence you can possibly make. Emphasize value. Tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to go to your kitchen or grocery store, get 2 onions and some castor oil, and prepare your first batch of this powerful hair growth treatment. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't tell yourself you'll start next week. Start tonight. The sooner you begin, the sooner you'll see results. Create urgency. Imagine 3 months from now looking in the mirror and seeing visible new growth. Imagine running your hand through thicker, fuller hair. Imagine your wife or partner commenting on how great your hair looks. Imagine feeling 10 years younger and regaining the confidence you've lost. All of that is within your reach starting today. Paint aspirational picture. I want you to commit right now to trying this treatment consistently for at least 8 weeks. Give it a real chance to work. Take before photos today so you can compare them to your progress photos in 2 months. You will be shocked by the difference. Encourage commitment. If this video has helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I'm sharing this information because I genuinely want to help men suffering from hair loss, and your engagement helps this video reach more men who desperately need this solution. Point to like, subscribe buttons. And here's what I really want you to do. Leave a comment right now saying, I'm trying this. Make that public commitment. When you declare your intention publicly, you're far more likely to follow through. Plus, when you come back in 2 months to update us on your results, we'll all be here cheering you.